the fun begins.
Hello! Welcome to the Council. We begin tonight's meeting of the Council by calling the Council to order. Hello to everyone and thank you for joining us. The Council is a live Twitch talk show and podcast discussing Star Wars: The Old Republic. I am Elise, and with me are my fellow Council members, Magic Ace.
Hola.
I was trying to catch her off guard. I did a little. Redna.
Bienvenue.
And Sakari.
Arrivederci.
This whole thing, and what was that? French?
Mine was Italian, right?
Absolument.
Heck yeah. All right. Between us,
je préfère la langue de française.
we seem to know some things. My goodness. That's all the Italian I know.
Hablo inglés.
Oh my goodness, we're off to one of these starts again.
That's funny. Tonight we're going to talk about, this is the second part of our two-part series on cosmetics and SWTOR. So we're going to be talking about armor trends, compare and contrast.
And generally just like to show off our stuff.
And it's also our Halloween episode, everybody. So yeah.
Oh man. Let's see if I can text someone or something downstairs. I'll be back.
And after this live Twitch talk show, you can find our recorded episodes and podcasts everywhere they might be found, like the councilswotor.com, or you can find us on YouTube. You can also find us generally just browsing anywhere, but also we're at Twitter at the Council SWTOR, and we also have Patreon, which is patreon.com/the Council SWTOR. But wait, there's more. You can also find us on Facebook. Oh yeah, facebook.com/Council SWTOR. Ta-da!
Hashtag delete Facebook.
Right.
I mean, I basically only have mine for the council and buy sell trade, so no flame in Facebook. I'm just saying. Personal choice.
So Elise is now joining us by Hollow until Elise shows back up again, and then she shall cease to be a Hollow.
She has returned.
Oh, she's okay. So hold on. Let's unhollow Elise. that way we won't oversee her like skipping around her room over there. That was pretty funny.
The transmission was intercepted. Hi. You were a hologram for a moment.
Hey, good times.
That's awesome.
It was pretty good. All right, ladies and gentle beings, it is time for the icebreaker. Everybody knows the icebreaker. It's just a question to get the chat started tonight. So we're going to get into it. As we mentioned before, this is about armor sets, the latest and greatest, how it compares to the old stuff. So my question for the council and also for members watching who would enjoy answering in chat. How many outfit slots do you have on your most played character and the character designer? And why? Explain it. Explain yourself. I'm totally starting with Elise on this one. And then we're going to go to Magic Ace, because I'm pretty sure you guys beat me in Redna, like, hands down. But let's find out.
No, that's sexist. You got to pick you or Redna next.
No, well, I'll just go, because I'm sure I'll get beat by somebody else. I think I have two.
Really?
That's it. Two.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
On your most played character.
I know. I kind of like pick an outfit and then I like it, and so I leave it there. And then if I get tired of that, I take the whole thing off and put another one on. Like, I don't like.
Okay, so then maybe I should ask you.
Per boss in a raid. So
how many tabs do you have in your cargo hold filled with outfits? Is that where they all are?
That's probably a more appropriate one. I think I have at least 5 in my legacy bank. 5? 6. I've unlocked, I think I've got one more left. Maybe I can undo. So.
And they're all just outfits.
My legacy bank is almost, yeah. The majority of them, yes. I think I have 2 tabs of resources that I never use for crafting. I don't know why I still have them. But everything else is.
You probably sell them and make some cash, but.
Because I told you to wait and give it to me.
Pretty
sure I remember in a different episode we talked about this.
Yeah. I went nuts with all the legacy sets because I wasn't here for those mostly. Like when you went to Odessa and did the whole heroics, you know what I'm talking about. Those boxes you had to turn in for rep and all that stuff. And so I saved whole sets of those. So
Aracea says 13 in chat, which means that we're probably bankrupt. But we'll have to discuss this later. Anyone wondering, that's my wife. Apparently she has 13 tabs of... So apparently like cartel coins is like a major budget item for us, but it is what it is, I suppose. All right, in order not to be sexist, Redna, why don't you go next?
What? Are you okay? I don't know what that means. I have one.
One, okay.
Because I make a new character if I want a different outfit.
You are so original. It's depressing.
Wow, that's like targeted look generation. I see tonight that you are sporting the covert top.
I am
On your own person.
covert red.
You know the covert
How did you
like
know it was Redna? Dang it, I guess I'm not as cool as Superman, but I was trying.
if you put the glasses on, nobody knows who you are.
I think he's
are we doing
talking
shade,
about
huh?
your shirt is invisible, so therefore it's like the covert armor set.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's where you were going with that.
It was probably a fell joke, but hey.
My chest hair looks like sparkling stars, and as cool as that would be, I can't claim it.
I would like to see them let you put on chest hair. I think that would be interesting to see. If they
Oh my
can do
gosh.
that.
It's like Austin
would
Powers, it's just
uninstall.
kind of out the top.
Nope.
Can't go
Would uninstall.
Twitch. Frankly, this is the great irony: is that they actually have a universal policy on Twitch that men and women can't go topless, right? But most of these video games have some form where a dude can run around shirtless, and apparently they don't have a problem with that.
Oh,
So
interesting.
kind of a double standard, just saying.
Well, Red, now your next stream, I want to see some cleavage, sir.
Please don't. Oh my gosh, please don't. We're good.
You can wear the. You say, "Hey, I'm wearing the covert top." I mean, this is actual armor set. Let's see what they say to
move on
that.
before this gets super awkward and ruined.
Oh, it's already done. We've already gone there. Magic, how about you? What is your how many slots do you have in your character designer?
26. Just kidding. Someone told me to say that. No, actually, let me see. I think on Starforge, my main PvP tune has 15, I want to say, or 14, something like that.
Yikes! Because those get so much more expensive the higher up you go.
They do. It took me forever to get there. Actually, whatever the max out is, I have that, I think. Anyways, she has the most outfits because for 2 solid straight years, I basically PvP'd every single night. I got really, really sick of the same outfit. And back then, you had to augment each outfit you got. So it would take me forever. Once it became available that I could just pick outfits, I was like, oh, I have to have them all. I have to use them all. And so, like, I just kind of went crazy. And she has the most outfits. And it's actually really cool. I got a lot of outfits just because I picked random pieces here and there and ended up making some pretty sweet outfits. Not that I'm biased or anything.
So you dropped
yeah,
like
I don't-
26 mil and got all those tabs unlocked.
Well, not all at one time. I mean, like, I think I already had, after I bought my Yavin 4 Stronghold, I ended up having nothing to spend money on. So
Okay.
I had several million just stashed away. And I was like, I don't know what to do with it. I just
Okay.
PvP. So
Yeah, if you're just sitting on it, you got nothing else to do with it. That makes a lot more sense.
So actually, and because don't you get the first one free? You do,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And then I don't know if you're aware, but if you're lower level, when you stamp the outfit, it's like
cheaper.
dirt cheap to do it.
Right? There's like 5K
what
for
I
the first
always
or
do
second
is
one.
Six
I
outfits
actually-
on a tune when I start.
And I always stamp it with the starting outfit. And then I immediately go to the vendor and sell it because I want the credits. And it doesn't have any actual stats on it, but I don't have to be running around looking naked, and then I'll
Dude,
just level that way.
Pencil for Harambe. I would just go naked. Why not? Who's gonna?
Well, I did that before the outfit designer because I always wanted the credits from selling the gear.
Because you're at the academy, right? So it's basically like going to college. So you could be like the streaker guy.
Yeah,
They're on-
basically, you don't get to wear it till you earn it. Take it from the dead body.
You must
or
earn
don't
your
wear it.
clothes. That's funny.
Wow.
So I'm limited to about 8, and it's because at about 8 is about as high as I can go before I refuse to pay any more money for stuff. Then what I start doing, if I want another armor set, I look for the one that I like the least, and I unstamp that and stamp the new one on. So in the end,
done that.
yeah,
Yes, I have done that a few times. It's fine. She's fine. She didn't scream. But yes, I've done that a few times.
And she's still making noise, so she's not dead.
Only parents understand.
You'll understand right now. Yours will get there.
It's
She
true.
has a really high pain tolerance, so if she screams, it's
yeah.
bad. Anyways, off topic. But actually, my main sork right now has 12.
12. Oh my goodness.
And I change them every boss, at least, because that's how I roll.
I know people like you. I don't understand people like you.
Okay, I don't do it every single boss. But a lot of times it depends on who we're fighting, like whatever operation I'm in or whatever flashpoint. Like, I'm like, ooh, I have an outfit for this. And so I'll change it for that. But
okay, so can I make a confession about character fashion?
Give us the juicy details.
This is from the Sakari Hall of Fame. All right, so we did, I think it may have been last Extra Life or something. We'll talk about this a little later on, some Extra Life stuff, by the way, everyone. But it might have been the last one of the, or like a guild party or something with Unholy Alliance when we were all hanging out together. And we did it in someone's Yavin 4 stronghold, and they had like one of those jacuzzi / swimming pool decos out there. At least were you at this one? I want to say you were there. And everybody was hanging out.
I imagine so.
Yeah, so it was like a pool party. It was kind of fun, like a little in-game event. So I showed up.
I was like, no, I was the one who at the end was like, we all have to take a picture in the hot tub. Like, we can't leave until we take a picture in the hot tub. So we have like 3 or 4 screenshots of all of us there.
I think it was Jess's, but I could
yes,
be wrong.
Yeah, I want to say it was Jess's as well. So because she was there early, so I'd gotten there early, and there was 5 or 6 people there. We were starting to show up, and it was like, hey, it's hot tub time. So all of the guys showed up with female tunes, right? And they all had them in the bikini, so the bikini short things and little bikini tops, whatever. And I showed up with a bikini top but like a long dress bottom. I showed up in. And Jess was like, you can tell you guys are all such a bunch of guys because you don't know how to dress female characters. Because everybody knows you either wear a long top and a short bottom or vice versa, with a short top and a long bottom. Everybody knows this except guys. And I said, excuse me. And I was like, look at me. So I somehow managed to absorb that from the world of character dressing somehow. So there's my confession for the night. I have a sixth sense with regard to space Barbies. All right, and now that I've thoroughly destroyed the discussion.
Congratulations, Sakari.
Well, thank you. So, as everybody knows, now that we're all feeling really weird about this, and I've made it weird. So tonight we're talking about character looks, right? How do you dress your character? It's our Halloween episode. Everything's about dressing up. Everything's about cosplay. A lot of good times. But over the course of time, in SWTOR, they have come out with some new sets, and there's especially some stuff recently that is actually quite a bit different to the old stuff. So I'm sure that we're going to rehash some of the many things that we've said in talking about character looks tonight, like we have. But what we want to kind of make sure is in the angle is a review of some of the latest stuff, what all is out there, things that we like about what all is out there, and how it differs, especially when compared to some of the older things that are out there.
Can I make a request of chat as we go through the show? Please.
Sure. I mean, it doesn't bother me.
So, chat. I always like to, being that I'm not really new, being that I've played this game now for like 4 years. I'm finishing up year 4 here. I didn't realize that until I sat down and started counting. But I didn't really get into the whole, like armor, especially the cartel market stuff, and most certainly the crafted stuff, because nobody did that when I started. It was the whole components things and shells and who cares what shell you have on stuff. That's how I was taught when I first started. Anyway, so if there's any armor sets that you like and you hardly ever see, I would love it if people would put that in chat suggestions, because I enjoy those.
Okay. So this is good. All right. All right, so here let's do this. If chat finds an interesting link out there, go to like Tor Fashion, for instance. If you can want to look it up on Tor Fashion, that's a great place to go for a whole set.
Or it's a set they have that they hardly ever see people on when they're running around in the game or on Fleet or whatever. Slap it in the chat. I love blah blah blah. I hardly ever see people wearing it. Whatever. Share.
Cool.
Let's share the love.
Yes, absolutely. So we
Everybody
love
is
it when.
wearing
I'll tell you
Revan
one.
Or the
I'll
Sith
tell you one.
You always
old
see that
PvP
stuff
gear.
over there, and Satil Sean's. You always see that, yes, but can we do it? It's something that maybe people can still get to. So it's fine. Tell us the old, that old set, or if you can get it now in a different way, maybe if it's in like the Odessan boxes or I don't know, whatever. So, okay, continue, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, that's great. I mean, I think that having chat participate in our discussion is always awesome. If you guys have anything to say that you would like to add, any set that you think is really cool that people should look at, definitely do it. Hey, if you can find a link to the set, by all means share it so other people can look at what you have in mind. That's the plan. All right, so what we have is I have a number of sets here because we were all sharing, hey, I like this set. So I grabbed some screenshots of some things. My apologies if you are a website owner of some kind and I pilfered your graphic. I just want to throw that out here. I went online, I Googled it. If I found a good shot of it, I picked it up. So that's how we're going to do it. Just to have a look at some of the stuff that's out there, various features of it we're going to talk about. There is aspects of certain sets that we'll do. We'll show a set, I guess. Does it sound like a fun way to handle this? Show a set, talk about what we like about it, what's different about it. If it brings anything else to mind, we'll talk about that too and just kind of go through it that way. Sound like a good format? Okay, so Elise, can we start with the Artifact Seeker set? Does that sound like a place that we can go?
Yeah.
Sure.
I didn't realize I was up first. Okay, so I would just like to say that my 2 screenshots came from Tor Fashion. I love Tor Fashion.
Yes.
And I'm on there a lot. Okay.
Okay, so Artifact Seeker.
Shout out to them. I actually got this set for the few times I actually designed the outfit for a role play, and that's a very light role play Togruta.
Right. A role play.
Yeah, like they're supposed to be like the warrior kind of culture, kind of a thing, and so I made a bounty hunter because that kind of suited their like lore, and I went for this set.
Okay. So did you do some thinking beforehand before you actually put this character together? This is the look I'm going for.
Yes, but I didn't know about this particular set itself before I found it. But I mean, it's like this kind of like deserty, and it's got the water bottle on the back, and it's got like chains. It just was this kind of like, I don't know, you would see maybe running around Tatooine. So on my Tor Fashion site was looking around for a bunch of stuff. I can't stand the normal bounty hunter outfits because they're basically just trooper armor.
Right.
But this one was different. It's got the kind of like the leg plates, but the chest piece is considerably less armory.
Right. So. Kirk mentions in chat, it's great look for desert planets, which is awesome. Like if you do some kind of role play design to your character and put your character together with a look with some kind of a backstory in mind, giving them that kind of a look is great. You know, if they're a bounty hunter of some kind of, but there's a certain planetary origin that they have, you can give them a look from that planet.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely.
So that's why I like that Artifact Seeker. And I just kind of like all the kind of like the chains and the water bottle on the back and all that stuff. But I loathe the helmet. And you will hear me say this again and again, that I just can't stand the helmet.
Yes.
So
it's very boxy. It's like
all of them
it's a very boxy helmet.
I can't. The only person who looked good in that was Leia, and only for a hot minute. Anyway. So, okay.
Oh, is that what it was based on, the Leia?
I don't know, but that
was a Gant. I want to say a Gant set or something. If I remember, back in Star Wars Galaxies, they had like a set that was very much like that. It's like the long protruding kind of face piece. It was like a Gant set, something like that. Interesting that they haven't. Maybe that is in this game, and I'm just not aware of it. I don't know.
I don't know, but
We'll
that's
see.
pretty close. It totally gives me that.
Right. Okay, so your second set is one that I have liked for a long time myself, and I'm actually glad that you brought this. By the way, this is not a new set. This is like goes all the way back to like the game starting. The Ambitious Warrior.
And the thing that I love about this set is it shows some skin, but it's not untactfully so. I have a couple others where you actually see like under part of your chest there in part. So,
Right.
we don't go there.
Underboob, that hashtag. There
I
you go.
wasn't saying it was
No,
edge
there
boob
was a
part,
whole
but we can
stretch
go
of
there.
of like a year almost that so many of their outfits had that. It was either that or the diagonal, so it was like a side slash under boob, and
Yeah.
it was
Right.
all idiotic. It's like, and of course, every female body in the game defies the laws of physics, so. Which is fine. I mean, Star Wars traditionally does not actually abide by physics. So
it's the same weird force magic that makes the bombs drop in space, right?
right, or laser beams can be seen from other parts of the galaxy while they split and hit random planets. Whatever.
It's the force.
So with this set, so that's nice. So if you do want to have a little, tummy action, it's not untastefully. I like the fact the hood's down. I absolutely loathe hoods in this game too because it makes you look like one of the Addams kids.
Or they make your hair disappear, which I wish is
That's what I mean.
like you need to have some hair if you have a hood. Like they hooked Valen up with it. I think they should at least let us have it.
You get the Wednesday Addams look.
Right.
They all look like that. But the other thing that I really love about this set, and I don't know how many people know that, but there's an actual crafted set that looks just like this.
Yes.
So, and I think that's awesome. It's kind of that.
Is it
like,
dyeable?
Dime, whatever. It is.
Because I may make a beeline for it when I'm done with this. I've always liked the set, and I think what I like most about the Ambitious Warrior set is the arm straps. I just like those. That in my opinion is what makes this whole thing come together. I think if it didn't have those, I wouldn't be anywhere near as interested in it. But it's the arm straps I think it give it its character.
And the hand guards are much like the Shatil Sean said.
Right.
They very much give you that kind of feel. So, and that's you can craft those too.
Well, Satil Sean's though go up almost to her elbows.
Right, I know. But I mean, if you can't afford that, you want that kind of still look.
Okay.
And that is no understatement. Satil Sean is so expensive.
Yeah, this is a nice compromise because it's the over the fingers kind of guard thing that you don't see all the time. You see gloves or gauntlets or
right,
bracelets. So I really like this one, but that's it. You'll see most of the outfits that I like are not Imperial side.
I'm not surprised at all. But I'm not gonna hold that against you either because it's personal taste. It's what you like. So let me ask you: we showed the Artifact Seeker and we showed the Ambitious Warrior. Is the Artifact Seeker decently new, or is it kind of like a one that's been around for a while?
It is. It's maybe I don't know, 2 or 3 packs back.
Okay.
So before they went to the kind of everything in the one, you know what I mean?
Right.
When they were doing individual ones, I feel like it was 2 or 3 packs. I think it was like Cotet maybe came out during Cotet. So
okay, so it's newish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was just wondering if maybe your taste kind of drifted back toward some of the older sets that are out there based on their look. And it's not necessarily one that integrates, because I know as we go through this tonight, we need to talk some about the way they're texturing sets now, the way that capes hang, which is very different to how they used to, the polish on certain things, like the reflective surfaces, I think is part of things. So you have like gloss and non-gloss, like matte type finishes. They've actually done a ton of texturing, and we need to probably talk about texturing as we go through this.
Oh, we will when we get there. I mean, it kind of depends. The only chess piece that I like that's like an armory kind of trooper bounty hunter one is and I'm blanking, but it's the one Mandalore with the one cape that's like hangs straight down.
Yes,
It has
I don't know the name of it
nothing.
either, but I know what you're
The
talking
one I
about.
have on my bounty hunter. It's the only one that
It's
I
a little
have.
mini shoulder
The
cape that
KOTOR
hangs
It's
down
the
from the.
KOTOR inspired one with the helmet. That's the only helmet I like in that game. In the game too, is that one. It's that, yeah. But it hangs over kind of almost the one shoulder. That is the only cape I would ever wear because all the rest of the capes were like a triangle, like this in
Right.
your back.
I'm
And
not
it
a fan
annoyed
of short capes. Like,
So I just couldn't. Do
I wish there
capes.
was stuff. So in Star Wars, you have like the Vader cape, right? Where it doesn't just hang on your back. It hangs over the shoulders, and it goes all the way to the floor. And as you walk, it's got like its own bounce to it. You know, it kind of trails a little bit after you. Like, it's very. It's got a lot of presence. I think I would love to see a little bit more of that. Which is a total aside, but it just what you're saying just made me think that.
Yeah.
Chat, I think Arjar says Cassis Fit, I believe is the name of.
Yes, that's it. I love that. That is the only helmet in the game I will put on.
It's yellow. Is that the one that's yellow?
It's gold. It's like
okay, it's gold.
tarnished
Sorry.
gold.
Woo. Yes.
Yeah, but it's that whole set actually looks really good. It's the only armory kind
It's
of.
total classic KOTOR too.
Exactly.
Right.
So when you say I only like, I seem to gravitate towards the newer ones. You're right, and not like
Okay.
there are certain that is the only set, and that's really old. So, but when I was looking through your stuff, some of the newer stuff with all the draping, the texturing, and all that stuff is
Right.
just cool looking to me. And I like this whole let's take some of the armor off and have a little less armory stuff. So, you're right, but I do like a lot of like this ambitious warrior one is really old too. So
Right.
okay.
Neff mentions in chat the reputation hat from McKeb. I think that's the one that's kind of like the military style. I think your hair disappears when you put it on, but it's kind of like the
Oh yeah, the beret thing. Yeah,
it's like a beret, but it's a little bit pulled down, so it's less beret and kind of more military. But it's definitely a good look if you wanted like an alternate headpiece for trooper and bounty hunter type stuff, especially. So agreed. Magic, you want to start with your Jerail set? Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Jeriel. Okay, so many people are not familiar with, but there is a comic books set. Well, there was. It's not anymore. You can't get it anymore. It's really hard to find it anymore. But there was a comic book series that was Knights of the Old Republic, and one of the characters who ends up later becoming the love interest of the main character has this armor for almost the entire time. And I wanted it so bad. I wanted it for so long. And a very awesome friend got it for me for, I don't think there was an occasion. It was just like, hey, I got this armor for you because it's on direct sale. And I was like, heck yes. So I went and made a Jedi tune as close to it as possible. So her birth name is like Adassa or something like that. And so I had to make a character with the birth name because they wouldn't let me use that name.
Right.
But
Don't
that's
you hate
one
that?
of my yeah, and it dies really well too, which surprised me. Although I hate the boots, and other than the character that I made specifically for that armor set, I do have
Those are very
other
pirate
things.
boots. That's you're not
Those
kidding.
those are not attractive boots at all.
Well, that's what she wore in the comics. So they
They're
made it-
almost
Which might
they're
be
almost
good.
like full length boots, like thigh high boots that are just kind of rolled down. Is what it looks like to me.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
it still ain't cute.
So yeah, on my
Don't
other
believe you.
tunes that have that armor set, they have different boots. So they are quite happy with their other boots.
Yes,
But
Kirk
that's one of my
mentions the
favorite
belt.
ones.
I definitely like the belt.
Yeah, the belt, it dies okay. Honestly, the only part of it that doesn't die the best is boots, and they just look dumb no matter what you dye. So
So
just my
sub
thing.
out the boots and there you go.
yeah.
Actually,
yeah,
you know what?
but
I think one of the things I think I like the most about that armor set is the straps on the inside through the shoulders that kind of make it. it's kind of like a gun holster type of look. I just kind of like that. I think it's pretty cool.
Yep.
All right, so there is another one. It's a Revan themed one. What is it about this one that you like?
It's Revan's armor set. I don't need to say more. It's Revan's armor set. Although I think I did use like a black and red dye pack because while Revan's armor set is cool, like it just didn't feel totally me. And I don't actually like it on a male character, believe it or not. I actually like it on a female character. And this is the only character I have that has this armor set. So, fun fact, I couldn't afford the whole armor set for a really long time. So I had a
No doubt.
lookalike. Yeah, I had a look-alike belt. There's one you can get that's almost identical to that, except for the pattern on the little metal piece is slightly different. But nobody knew I didn't have it for the longest time. And someone was like, well, you have the whole set. Why don't you just unlock it? I'm like, I don't have the whole set, actually. And they're like, what? Why? I'm like, because I don't have Revan's sash. Someone's like, hold on, let me check my inventory here. I'm like, okay. Boom, hands me the sash, last piece I needed. I was unlocking it. I'm like, yes!
Wow. So now
Yes!
that's the classic Revan, though, right? It's the very
Yes.
first Revan set.
It's called Revan's armor set. It's not Revanite or Revan Reborn. It's Revan's armor set.
That's why I said it's a Revan themed, because for me they all blur together at this point. I have no idea which. I'm like, I know Revan when I see it, right? But I have no idea which of these iterations it is.
And at the time, the mask was like 10 million credits, and I didn't even make like maybe 2 million in like a month. So I didn't have the money for it. And actually, my brother-in-law had the mask, and it was, I think, my birthday 2 years ago. And he was like talking to my husband, like, "Hey, do you think I should give her this for her birthday?" And he's like, "Yes. What are you waiting for? Give it to her." I was okay. I'm a hardcore Revan fangirl. I might have said that a time or 10 on this show. So yeah, there it is. There's my fangirlness. Oh, and
we know how Kirk made his riches, by the way. Just want to say.
And I have to mention that last night I got the Revachist title. So now that character with that armor set has that title. So I am a little happy about that. But so that wasn't the focus of the show, I cropped that out. You can't see it.
Got that set in a grand chance cube. Oh my goodness. No, what a... Kirk basically won the lottery, basically, is what he's saying. I sold it for 120 million. It was one of his 3 commas.
A grand chance cube? Dang, Kirk.
The whole thing. But I mean, hey, if you're gonna get the jackpot, like doing it in your grand chance cube is like the best way to get there.
Well, or
I know people who disintegrate those. I know people who disintegrate the grand chance cube.
Arbiter's lightsaber, or the unstable blah blah blah. That's another one I've heard somebody got in a grand chance cube.
Wow, I would never disintegrate one of those. I mean, there's just...
I've gotten pets.
I know. I don't...
Oh yeah, so I mean, I guess maybe once you lose hope, you begin to do things like that. But I don't know. There's something in me that goes, "Ooh, open it." Maybe you'll get some kind of lightsaber that we'll see.
I got the dual one. I got the double-bladed one, which was like nothing, because at the time everybody wanted the single lightsaber, not the double. So I think I was debating on selling it, but it was only like 10 million on the GTN, and I was like, yeah, I'll just keep it because I like it. But
yeah, I make that too. It's like everybody wants this so that they can put it on their character. I have it. Should I give it to someone else to put on their character, or should I just put it on mine?
Right.
I just saw what you typed in the show notes. You're fired.
All right, so how about we skip ahead and let's talk about Pink by Magique.
That's not funny. Why did you say that on stream? I straight up said don't do that.
That's everybody. That's MAJIQUE. If you want to get the designer right.
Just stop. Seriously.
So she put this. She was like, "Oh, here's one I want to share and talk about." So I said, "Hey, that's by Magique," and then she was like, "Somebody called me that," and I almost shot them in the face, and it was awful. And then I thought, "Oh, this is too juicy not to say."
No, that specific armor set, I crafted the top and I think the bottom as well, and I crafted the bracers. I don't remember if I crafted the gloves, but I know there is a pair of gloves that on another outfit that looks just like that I use a lot because they dye so well. And that's like, I think the primary black, secondary pink dye with it. The belt is actually from, what was it? It was Visas Mars armor set.
Okay. Kirk guessed Zozon. But I guess it was Visas Mars, which is a great set. I love Visas Mars set.
I love that set.
Yeah, it's Visas Mars because I paid $14 million for the armor for the belt alone to put my Psylocke outfit together, so I know what belt that is.
Right.
No, but I also crafted the headpiece, which is I put this in there because I wanted to specifically say people are like, hey, should I craft? Why should I craft? Well, if you're into Space Barbie, crafting can actually be pretty awesome because I craft things all the time for specific pieces to outfits, specifically headpieces for my female tunes. almost all the headpieces I have on my tunes are ones that I crafted. And they're relatively cheap. So little things that you're just leveling and you like, scavenge or use archaeology on or whatever gives you materials and you can craft this stuff. I think maybe the gloves and just the belts and boots are cartel items, and the rest I crafted completely. And I actually really like that armor set on her.
Right.
So crafting actually is still
I was
beneficial
going to
because
say,
stats.
looking at that character, I would ordinarily think that is not that great, except that you have her hair dyed, and with the blue skin, I think it looks great. It just pulls it all together, which I think is really good. A really exotic kind of look too. The red eyes. I mean, I think you probably pulled in more than just the armor pieces here. You used the blue and the skin tones, and you used the hair, I think, to kind of pull everything together, which I think is great.
That was not long after they first released the new skin and hair for Chiss, the first time they gave them stuff. So pink hair wasn't something I had really had. I think I had one tune. My first commando had pink Chiss hair, and that was it. So I was like, oh, it's time to like see what I can do with this character. So I hadn't touched her in ages, and then when the server merges happened, I got her back from Bastion. So I'm like, all right, here we go. And I made her all pretty again. She's Space Barbie.
Right. Okay, and then there was one more that I thought was actually very interesting because of its classic nature. Actually, I'll be honest, I like how much KOTOR actually is coming up. I think it's a theme that's hitting us tonight. Because we've had Revan, right? We've had... what was that other one? Anyway, so they're here. Here's another one from KOTOR. And that is Magic's Vrook Lamar. If anybody recalls, he's one of the Jedi Masters from KOTOR. But you've dyed it now to create the look.
Theme, I kind of freaking love KOTOR. But yeah, so this is a black, I think it's a primary black, secondary purple die set. And the belt actually is not from Vrook Lamar's set. The belt is actually, I think, the Harbinger or something from the Dark versus Light vendor. It's the Dark Side vendor. And the light, there's actually an animation to the belt. The light strobes purple, dark purple. So with that die, it looks superb.
Is that one of the dies from like the Dark Side vendor or the belt? The one that has the pulse that goes. Okay. Yeah, those are really cool.
I kind of just said, yep, that one.
Well, I was listening for like Dark Side vendor or something, but I didn't hear it.
Not the old Dark vendor and Light vendor. It's the newest, like Dark versus Light. When those vendors came out, it's the new ones. This is the Legacy belt. It's a Legacy belt. So it actually has like a strobing purple light that starts in the center and moves its way out. And when you turn the character around, it's also got that animation on the back as well. And because it's a purple light, I thought it would go great with the set, and I was very pleased to find out that it did.
Right. So Redna, let me ask you some questions, man. You're saying that you design a character essentially with one look in mind. Is there anything that that strikes like that factors into your philosophy on designing a character? Like this character I want it to be. Do you think through backstory and then you build it with that look in mind, or how do you go about designing a character the way it looks?
No, I make a character, and then along the way I have an outfit. Although most of them actually have legacy gear that I transfer to them. That it's those legacy sets, like the one on Belsavis, that actually looks like more like actual Stormtrooper armor than the Old Republic type stuff.
Okay.
I mean, realistically, I'm not a huge fan of most of the outfits in this game, simply because I'm not a big fan of the fantasy direction that they feel compelled to go with in Old Republic material. I much prefer the actual movies and the blended, the used galaxy look in a sci-fi style setting, rather than all of these big shoulder pads and, ridiculous giant face masks that nobody needs. Darth Vader couldn't breathe or stay alive without having a oxygen mask on his head. That's the reason he had it. I don't see why, everybody else in all of ancient history apparently had to cover their face and wear some stupid mask. And I don't really particularly think that most of the KOTOR masks, like the Revan mask, is uninspired in my opinion. And there's that Darth Nihilus one also looks kind of dumb. Like I've never really thought they were cool.
Oh, because that's kind of like I've been you say the Darth Nihilus mask is dumb, and I was like, but I've been rebranding my entire Sakari image around the Darth Nihilus mask lately.
And I can appreciate it. It's iconic.
I'm joking.
You know, and people have a lot of nostalgia around it. It's just it seems rather pointless to me, and it doesn't really fit my image of what we've seen in the movies propagated with meaning, you know.
Well, it's because you're more movie fan right now.
Well, yeah, but so Redna, I know you approach this very differently to us.
I'm more of a movie time period fan generally. Like Old Republic, I've never been invested in the concept of Old Republic periods. You know, I only played KOTOR after years because everybody else was telling me how great it was, you know. And I found the gameplay mechanics to be clunky and cumbersome, but the story was interesting. I'll grant you that.
Granted, how old is this? And it was like...
Right, exactly. And that's the problem. I didn't play it for, you know, probably 8 years. So by the time I played it, I was playing games that were actually enjoyable to play as opposed to, you know, okay, click this in order to attack that. And, you know,
very turn-based.
Basically turn-based.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I mean, when you played it then and then continue to play it now, you're basically making allowances in your brain when you know that there's differences, as opposed to if the very first experience you've had where it's considerably more dated.
And it was modern, right? And at the time, it felt, you know, when it first came out, and it's like, wow, these graphics are amazing. And now it's like, I think that rectangle is that guy.
Right. It's a big pixel, and it's just kind of, no kidding.
But, so realistically, I did add some pictures at the end. I don't know if you can get them into the stream at all, but the two that I like that I have, one was given to me. It's my black Return of the Jedi outfit.
I was going to say that's exactly what it looks like.
But you were speaking about this. Okay, so tell you what. You keep talking about it, and let me actually get it in because I want to make sure that we actually feature this.
So I mentioned it on other shows, but I actually am quite tickled. You know, one of my viewers in the stream was kind enough to actually donate the entire set. Like he had already done the research and everything and knew. Even gave me a black dye to inject on this because the colors are not naturally black. But you know, the gloves are pretty accurate. The belt was, you know, pretty close, and the tunic is definitely like spot on. Like it looks like Luke from Return of the Jedi. My only complaint being that just like any other video game, this one doesn't let you actually choose to have two different looks on each hand, because you really should only have one glove for Return of the Jedi.
Right.
You know, he uses that to cover the mechanical hand. But that, you know, that's a small complaint. And I like it. I like it a lot. I tried pretty hard to make it look kind of like Luke. It's really hard to get a very good, accurate look. I wonder, though, actually, if I might be able to go into the cosmetic changer with all the additions that they've added, I might be able to get closer. And I love that. I love that look, and even the color. I got color crystals that match the green from Return of the Jedi for his lightsabers, and so I unlocked that. Frankly, that's what I put into every one of my characters as soon as I make a new character is those crystals, because they're 41, and I've actually got endurance, crit, mastery, and
every
power.
Version of them that you need.
Yeah, all in the color I want. Because even I actually bought one of those expensive, like handcrafted battle lightsabers that you can hit people with and doesn't break the thing.
Right.
And emulated it off of the green Return of the Jedi look. So for that, I actually do like that a lot. That's the furthest I've gone in cosplay, further even than I've ever done in real life. You know, we're rocking that. And then I have another picture in there that is my favorite tank. It's a Guardian. And this is what real tanks wear.
Oh, okay. Give me a second, because I need to make sure that we get this into the show. So give me.
This is what I was waiting for the style discussion about this one. So, yes.
I need to make sure this is in the show, everybody.
It's like the Chiss version of Geordi from Star Trek.
For the headpiece, yes, that's true.
No pants.
Well, not much anything.
So are you saying hooker Geordi? Because what I'm hearing is hooker Geordi.
If you've ever noticed, if you take all of your clothes off in this game, you wear boxer briefs. Whether you're male or female, you're wearing boxer briefs, and then the women have like a gym halter top bra thing. Sports bra, thank you. or from modern experience, it could also be a maternity bra. But
Right. Okay. From modern experience, yes, indeed.
so, and that's the trick, right? I wanted a Speedo, basically. Like, I wanted tidy whities, except I wanted it to actually, basically, I wanted it as close to naked as possible. So I've got the covert, there's no covert bottoms. And actually, even if there were, I think I didn't want the covert bottoms because of those boxer briefs. So what I did, and the reason he's actually wearing a belt on top of this is because I didn't have a black dye on this character. So it's actually a black navy blue dye. And so I covered up the navy blue waistband because it didn't match my skin tone.
It looks to me like it's role play night in a certain place in the house, if you know what I'm talking about. And he's got nothing but the boots and the belt, baby.
Great. It's great. And the thing is, this is how a real tank plays, right? Because I don't need no stinking armor. I'm just going to go in there and take this thing on.
With the glory of my chest hair.
But I was thinking, and actually maybe you apparently need to show this to Jesse, because this is what should be taken to a swim party in a jacuzzi. Right?
Right.
You know?
I just think it's hilarious. Like, he's got the belt,
so he's ready,
and the belt has all the color.
I swear I've seen somebody that has a He-Man themed character on fleet with these pants.
Oh, but no, hold on. There's a furkini, right? The furkini bottoms. I know Kirk stinking loves the furkini. He's been featured a bunch of times. The furkini, right? It's like the He-Man, the He-Man loincloth.
That dudes put that either that on their girls or the bikini bottoms,
right?
That are with the extrovert outfit or whatever, with some top and like furry boots that just infuriates me.
Furry boots.
Well,
hey, guys like the furry boots.
My Jedi Shadow is a female, and she's wearing the full-on stormtrooper gear. So I'm just
all right. You go ahead.
Well, I mean, I have Juhani's armor set, which kind of looks like it's got a tail on the back of it, a very long one that goes all the way down to the knees. And I dyed it black white, and then I put my chick in like the bikini bottoms so that she could pull off the Zatanna look, because Zatanna is one of my favorite DC characters. So technically, I mean, I've got a chick in bikini as well, but it's for the good of the character, because otherwise she can't look like Zatanna, and that's rather important.
Well,
I actually
she got something over her butt. My favorite was doing can't remember what flashpoint it was, but I had somebody like right in front of me. I was in the back healing, and it was like a sniper or something in that outfit, and I was just like appalled every time they went into cover to shoot with the bikini bottoms.
That's the longest flashpoint ever.
At least won't remember, but Sicaria Magic, you should probably remember when they finally actually came out with craftable slotted gear. And one of the things that they provided to people was if you had gotten enough Warzone tokens, you could actually make a copy of the high-end, the better tier PvP gear.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Super Warlord or something gear. I can't remember what it was called. I actually really, really like the Stormtrooper gear from that set. The
Battlemaster?
difficulty is finding anybody. Yeah,
I want to say it was like Battlemaster gear way back in the day. Okay.
It's really difficult to find anybody that can make it, though, because it has more of like an insectile helmet. You know, it was fortunately after they had those uncircumcised penis helmets.
All right. I guess that's a key word for this episode.
I missed that.
Dude, they were so bad. They were so bad. But anyway, and I liked it. You know, it had a little bit more angular than like Stormtrooper armor. So and actually, I really liked. I put my medic in that, and then put a white green dye on it, and that worked really well. I thought actually, because it's a dark green, and that's like my favorite color. So.
Those weird helmets are very Rebel, like Rebel Alliance helmets, like the typical Rebel Trooper kind of look. Sorry, and maybe that's what they based them on. I don't know, but
well, no, this one's actually more of an angular, like it comes down straight
on the front.
On the front, it's on like it's rounded top, and then it's like this with a flat bottom, and it angles down like an ant's head.
Interesting.
I'd have to find it.
So helmets have always been a challenge for the SWTOR designers.
Well, and you wanted to talk about how things had improved. I remember when they increased shading and reflectivity, and you could actually, like, some of the visors that were reflective, you could actually see images, like the surroundings being reflected in those visors and stuff. That was a really cool.
Yeah, it's. I'll
And
tell
then
you
also
what. When you have
they
your
put
graphics up,
shadows so that the angles of the different outfits would actually cast shadows on your arms and legs as you moved and stuff. So.
Well,
yeah.
if we're going to talk about textures, why don't you put up a couple of yours? Like, I think Magic and you like the Sith Recluse set, so...
Yes, so the
why don't
Sith
you put it up
Recluse
and
set.
You can use it. There's matte and there's shiny in that set.
So one of the things I wanted to bring up about this is just the aspect that. So basically, just explain this image. The one on the right is a character submission from one of Magic's, and then I just grabbed this like a stock. I hate the helmet on this, by the way. I've never liked the Sith Recluse helmet, but the rest of the set is actually pretty good. But what I love the most about the set is a little droid that comes down. Every time you go into a combat stance, there's a little droid that comes down and hovers by your right elbow, and it stays in that position no matter where you move. And then when you come out of combat, it kind of goes back up to orbit, which is a really cool feature that they're starting to do that thing more and more with armor sets now. There's like some ambient aspect to it, which I think is really cool.
But the piece on mine, the mask, is the Agenta Paul mask. So
yes,
it's
and
actually not
I guess you agree with my assessment about the helmet then, that it's the helmet's
yes,
no
it's
good.
quite horrifying, and that's my Sith Juggernaut. She's the only tank that I actually really use, and I needed her to look fearsome. It's kind of hard to look fearsome when it looks like you have a mushroom on your head.
Right.
So I
know that they wanted it to
outfit.
look. So I'm starting to see more and more elements of samurai type looks in this game. In fact, let me show you this. While I'm talking about like the samurai type element.
You see samurai, I see Darth Vader.
Well, there's some
Just
Darth.
a
Well,
short and
have you
Darth
seen
Vader.
have you seen all the stuff online where people take stormtroopers and Darth Vader and they marry them with samurai like art, and then there's stuff all over. Like, go look at this stuff. There's stuff all over the place with like Darth Vader as a samurai. It's actually really cool. But I think they're starting to integrate some of that in here, and that's kind of where this comes from. The set that I wanted to mention, specifically in this regard, is the Wasteland Crusader. Look at that helmet, for instance. That's distinctively samurai.
I'm blinded by the triangle cape.
The triangle cape, indeed. So this is the set. This is the set that is it Atris Vin, that one of the villain from the latest Flashpoint, the Anathema Flashpoint. He's wearing this except for the helmet. When I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, I really like that. That's a really good look. I wanted to get that." So I actually found it and picked it up. But the helmet is very samurai to me. It's got like this whole interesting over the top, kind of almost like a Spartan kind of angle, like flare piece. That's just very, very out of the ordinary. The boots are great.
It's hard to see the boots, I think, from the show notes anyway.
Right.
What about the Ruthless Scion one? Did you put that up?
Okay, Ruthless Scion. So the sets
like this one.
I really like some of the more recent stuff. Let me see if I can find where I put it here.
You put it in the show notes. I'm looking right at it.
Oh no, but I'm talking about in there we go.
Oh.
So the Ruthless Scion set, I think, looks better on characters with like body type 3. When you have a broader chest, it looks really good. I think that chest piece, if you look at on the angle here, the one it's from the left shoulder. That if you're a female character, it's already like a pronounced breastplate on top of what's already a pronounced area. So it's like, like hanging off the end there, which I think is a little bit weird. But on male characters, I think it looks pretty good.
I like it though, even there, because you can see the draping even more.
Yeah, the way that
you're looking at the chest, it looks like that they took like pleats. It's almost like there's pleats from that lower, like kind of that rounded triangle piece in the bottom, like that's where the fabric is starting from and going out.
The way that the fabric hangs in this set is very good. I agree with you. I hate the helmet though. The helmet. So I have this on my Juggernaut.
You're talking about the mud flap?
The mud flap.
Well, if you look at the
Oh, I see what you're saying. Redden talks about the mud flap.
Oh yeah, I don't understand why they have to put that on like all of the Trooper and Bounty Hunter sets since Shadow of Revan. I don't understand why we have to have the little cape, the little butt cape in the back. It just looks kind of
Maybe your
strange.
butt
Although
is heroic and it needs a cape.
I don't know, perhaps, but this one actually I don't mind because of all of the draping that
Yeah.
happens in this one. The other ones are just basically like a cape, like the Resilient Warden. That's actually I love the color. I don't know if that's dyed or if that's the base color scheme there, but I like that color scheme. But for this one, I really do. I love the draping, and I don't think I've ever really looked at this set. But yes,
Yeah. So
anybody
So
has
can I
one
ask a
wants to
question
donate
of
to
the
me?
three of you?
sure.
I'm genuinely curious. Do you guys usually, is this typical behavior that it's the goal to get the complete set and wear it as provided? Because I will be
No.
honest, like if I
Not
was
for
putting anything
Magic.
together, it's all about
No. It's the
piecemealing
tip.
things together and then making a die pack to set. And sometimes it actually does require multiple die packs because I don't want it to be, the same for the chest as it is for the pants.
Did
or
you see what
whatever,
Kirk put in
like-
chat as an incidental?
Most of the time, it's about getting the armor set and unlocking it. Because usually, if you really like it, you use pieces of it on another tune, and instead of buying the same piece multiple times, if you just unlock it, you reclaim it for free.
Right.
So therefore, the goal is get the set, unlock it, and then use it however you want, how many ever times you want, in whatever way
Yeah.
that you want it.
So
Now,
Yeah, that's why I really like that toothpick outfit or headpiece, because it just like sticks in the corner and then you can actually see your character.
I like that too. It's just that thing is very expensive if you weren't around when it first came out. If you
Mhm.
go and look for it on the GTN now, it's really expensive.
Yeah.
Same thing with the glasses. The
they don't do
the
decent
set
glasses
of
in this. Everything's
glasses,
big goggles, and
those
it's
are
too.
horribly expensive now too.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. There's
If they
no-
would just do like a
see,
cool set of aviators, I'd be like, there you go, that's what I want.
Right.
Or like give me some glasses, but like everything is goggles. It's all too heavy to me. That's why I don't.
Dude,
do those.
recently enough, actually, the 70s style sunglasses were back in, and that is Star Wars. Like, I would totally love to see that in game.
well, I mean, on a smuggler, I don't understand toothpick and that. Like, I just don't. I think the toothpick was on direct sale like a couple of months ago, if I remember correctly. But
What do you
I
mean,
just- I
2,400 cartel coins for a toothpick?
Exactly. That is why I did not buy it.
Should be like
Because I was
5 credits somewhere.
Absolutely not. So, or have it craftable. That would be nice too. For
Yeah,
me,
just give me a different colored toothpick.
the other one I didn't put up here.
Reskin.
that
Dang
I
it, it's a
have-
reskin.
I have not even dyed. I've left it exactly what it looked like because I loved it the first time I saw it was the Lucius Gray. I think it's Lucius Gray, right? Set?
Sure.
Lucius
Some-
Malfoy.
No, that's Harry Potter.
Oh, dang it.
Anyway,
Yeah, it didn't get you.
Something. Gray.
thought
It
his name was
looks like a
Luscious.
dress. It looks like a dress. It's from a comic, I think. A Star Wars comic character. That's what that set came from. And it has, the coloring is great. The embroidery is great. I love the entire set. It's on my Jedi Sage Healer, and I loved it. So I kept it that way. More often than not, I just put the whole freaking set on there. Sometimes I will change it out if I absolutely loathe the pants the set comes with, but
Right.
I spent all that time hunting out all those pieces to unlock the stupid thing
Uh-huh.
that I'm just like, okay, I'm done.
So I just love. So I love that everybody has their thing, right? It's just one of the things that I celebrate the most about this game. Here in chat, we have Kirk says, he says, I didn't spend 45 minutes tweaking the facial features of my tune to cover it with a helmet. Okay,
Exactly.
So right, so you got that aspect.
That is 100% correct.
Okay,
Brilliant,
so Red apparently heartily agrees. But then you have Archman just a few pieces down and goes, I've forgotten what my tunes look like because I slap a helmet on them and never see them again. So it's just like, it's just whatever you're into in this game.
Actually, for my gunslinger, I've always really enjoyed putting the beret on him because it's one of the few headpieces that doesn't have the on it that hangs down behind or the
Right.
flaps that hang down over the ears, which always messes
If they would
with my facial
just
hair.
give you a
It might-
cowboy
I mean,
hat
it
and not
removes the
have
hair
that.
from the back of your head, but it removes the hair from the back of your head, but it does not mess with my chops because if you'll remember, on my gunslinger, I've got the chops that come down
Right.
to here, and all other hats would remove the chops and leave this mustache that hangs
The
down
Fu
to
Manchu.
exactly. And I'm like, no,
Right.
that's not my guy. I'm not shaving for a hat. Thank you very much. So, sorry.
By and large, I mean that's the one thing. Like, so you have the old, it's the what's his name, Nico Okar hats right from the very beginning of the game. They're like, this guy's a cool cowboy, you know. He's got that wide brim, you know, and he's like, that's the look. But then you put it on in game, and you've got this big old, you know, big old chin strap
on it underneath the.
Yeah, and you're like, what? Like, don't do that. Just knock it off.
That hat only looks good on Nico. Anybody else
right.
who put it on, it does not look good on. I'm sorry for those.
So that was a swing and a miss, and they could have hit it out of the park with that. That would have been really awesome.
I do not like that outfit.
Yeah,
but
it's okay. Nobody does. It's terrible.
Anyway. Well, guys, I think, is there anything anyone else just wants to say kind of in wrapping up the subject? I know we didn't go through textures as much as we want, but hey, what can you say about textures, right? Or like reflectivity or extra
I'll tell you
features?
exactly what to say about textures. Textures are pretty great if you have the graphics that can support them. If you don't have the graphics,
True.
It's kind of pointless for you. And so therefore you shouldn't really worry about it at the moment. But if you have a computer that can handle it, graphics specifically matter, because I have a set that I really, really like the way it looks, but the pants are like slick and the rest of the outfit looks like cloth, so it doesn't quite mesh well.
Yeah.
So I can't unify the colors on that one, but I really like how it looks. So luckily the pants are already primary black, so I don't have to worry about it. But if I unify the colors, you can tell really hardcore that one of them is like supposed to be faux leather and then the other one is cloth. So if you don't have the computers that can handle it, don't worry about it. But if you really like textures, then there are specific armors that have specific type textures, and it does matter. Don't clash, because Space Barbie police are out there and they will get you for it.
The Space Barbie police. Apparently you're hanging on too many discords, I think.
Hot Pants of the Republic. She used to do it.
Really? There's like Walmart shaming, where she hangs out on Fleet with a camera, and it's like, look at this person. They're in their pajamas at a Walmart.
She didn't need to do it. Helped her out and did it for her.
That's hilarious.
I love that. She hasn't posted in a while, but I mean, like, she used to like do this whole thing about, you know, something.
That is epic.
She would do like this thing when she would call out for people to donate pictures, and I spend every now and then a good 15 minutes just going through old pictures laughing. It's names too.
Right. Well, I mean, the people are very creative in what they come up with, and you know, they put something together and they get the perfect look for it, and it's just stinking hilarious. Like, I see that stuff a lot.
Somebody put in a body type for dude in like a schoolgirl outfit. And
called him Marshmallow Matey.
That is my favorite.
Right. Yeah, there's some good ones out there like that. So, okay, we're getting to the end of the time here, so let's make sure that we wrap it up. The one thing I do want to start with is we're going to talk a little bit about Extra Life. Let me play the promo that's out there quickly, and then we'll talk a little bit about Extra Life in our announcement section. Thank you, Jessie of Unholy Alliance Guild, for putting that thing together. It's very epic. She does one of those every year. So, Extra Life. Let's talk about Extra Life for a moment. It is coming up November the 3rd. That's this coming Saturday. I believe we're starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time.
8 Pacific.
Yes. So if you're on the West Coast, you have to get up early on a Saturday. It's I guess it's the only way that they fit it in. And it's even worse if you're anywhere in the Pacific Rim,
Rest
I guess.
of the world.
Yeah. That's true. Like, hey, I guess it's true. So I do definitely want to say, to make mention of a Passionately Casual podcast, episode 51. It's the latest one on their thing. Go to passionatelycasual.com for that. But it's this whole breakdown of what all is coming on this given weekend, all of the events that are going to happen, and then also a big, good discussion with Jim, who is a coordinator of Extra Life this year. So we mentioned some of this in the episode last time. Extra Life, there's going to be a bunch of events kind of scheduled like 1 hour apart from each other, so jump in when you can. We want to extend the invitation to everybody. Come be a part of this. You don't have to. It's not only by giving money. Show up to these events. If you go to I think twitter.com, it's twitter.com, right? /UA Guilds.
It's twitter.tv, right?
No, twitch.tv. Twitch.tv.
Oh, you said Twitter.
Yes,
it's
Twitter.
Twitter.com.
But if at the bottom of the graphic that's on screen right now, if you look at bit.ly/SWTOR Extra Life, all in one word, that'll take you there pretty much to the website web page that we have set up for this. But there's going to be a bunch of things. There's Quiplash in the morning that Kid Lee is going to host. Run and Grand Prix, which is the speeder event that I am not doing this year. Usually I get put with that for some reason. I don't know why. But a lot of cool things.
Because you came up with it.
Well, I might have made it famous for other reasons. But it's cool. I mean, like, there's going to be a dance party, and there's all kinds of stuff, and it's all throughout the day. We've got events scheduled, so go check out that graphic.
Show event.
Yes, you do. You do.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, I'm going to take the graphic and we'll tweet it after the show is done from our the council Twitch, and we'll put it on Facebook as well. So it'll be on our social media pages. But definitely tune in. I think we want to make sure that everybody's there. Come be a part of it. Like, the events are going to be awesome, and they're awesome when people show up, and it's a blast every year. And we just move from event to event. If there's something you got going on in the middle of the day, take a break, come back, get back into it when you can. So it's really cool. Ren, are you going to be streaming it this year?
Every year.
Every year. Like, you start right from the beginning and stream all the way to the end, however long it is.
And
I've always done 24 hours because Extra Life is a 24-hour live stream charity event. I'm not doing 24 hours this time.
This time you're a dad.
You do that this year.
I have been told by Gigi that for my own health, sanity, and longevity of life, I'm not permitted because Gigi needs a father.
Yes. Hey, it's fine. Yeah, dial it back for sure. This is on the Satil Sean server, by the way, everybody. So come join us, definitely.
But I will be doing the whole 12 hours. So 8 to 8 West Coast, 11 to 11 East Coast.
Yeah.
All right. And you're going to be...
Can I just say one more thing before we run out? Everybody who does the events generally puts some time and thought into whatever they are giving out as a prize if they're doing that. And we like to give out lots of things, and we always overbuy. So please,
like, way overbuy. Like, it's like jackpot Saturday, pretty much.
We actually put thought into the things that we select as prizes. So come out, get in, get free stuff, and participate.
Most of the events have door prizes, so you're getting mounts, you're getting all kinds of really cool things, pets. Sometimes there's like a whole pet event where you go, I don't know if we're doing that this year. I can't remember. I think
Jem is doing one.
Okay, so I mean, there's pets that you get in game just because we do the event that way. So definitely join us, Satil Sean server. At least as far as we're concerned, I know Redna is going to be streaming it, as he said, twitch.tv/R3DN4. That's his channel. I will be streaming, I think, the afternoon portion of it because I'm carting kids around some in the morning. So I'm going to be on there as well, so look for me as well.
I will not be streaming at all, but I am a contestant in one of the games.
Yes. Oh, how cool is that?
Kidley might be doing some streaming because I know he has 2 events, and Jem might be doing streaming.
So twitch.tv/kidlee. You'll find me, twitch.tv/Sakari. I think Jem is on Twitch at twitch.tv/TexasGemini. So I will make sure that all of that stuff is in the show notes, but it'll all be online. If you go to our entry for this specific episode, we'll have the graphic in there. We'll have links to all of the every streamer that we know. All of the links will be in the show notes. So definitely tune in this coming Saturday, November the 3rd at 11 Eastern, and we'll make sure to get Extra Life going. Be a lot of fun. A lot of fun this year. That's all I have for the announcements, guys.
Okay.
Over to you, Magic.
we would like to say thank you all for showing up tonight, for chit-chatting with us in our chat, for the lurkers and the haters. We love you. For the people who Nightbot attacked and tried to kick you out because of your links, we apologize, but we appreciate you trying to contribute to the episode. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you so much to our Patreons and the people who are downloading our podcast. We appreciate it.
Am I still muted? No, I'm unmuted. So that takes us to the end of the show. The council is adjourned. If you'd like to reach us, you can email us at thecouncil@thecouncilswotor.com. Like our Facebook page at facebook.com/thecouncilswotor. You can find Elise on Twitter at abrown35, Magic Ace at the Magic Ace, me at R3DN4, and Sakari at I am Sakari. Also, don't forget our Patreon page at patreon.com/thecouncilswotor, where patrons can catch the articles we're talking about and behind-the-scenes information and exclusive backstage access to our after-show chat. I've actually really enjoyed talking with some of our patrons recently. Kavanaugh,
Brendan Kavanaugh.
We got that confirmation, so
Yes.
it was really enjoyed, especially since we've been preparing for SWTOR Unite on the 10th. There's a number of people that we're all on the same server now, so it's nice to see some friendly faces there. As for that, I guess that's it for this week, guys. Don't call me a mindless philosopher, you overweight glob of grease.
I understand.
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
What? How can you do this? This is outrageous. It's unfair. How can you be on the council and not be a master?
Take a seat, young Skywalker.
Forgive me, Master.